Welcome once again to ALFF, AL.com's fantasy football coverage. That's hashtag ALFF. Your host Alex Walsh, joined as always by resident fantasy football expert Nick Birdsong.
With the KC Kasem boys, I am John Gruden, excited about this fantasy football season.
As we should be, but to win the league, you got to avoid the bust. You got to avoid the guy that you draft in the first, second round, and then all of a sudden it's just terrible. So let's talk a bit about some busts and guys you're avoiding in the draft this year.
I'm going to start off with a heavy hitter with a big name, Robert Griffin III.
Whoa!
This may be a bit of an impulse thing just based on this most recent preseason game against the Browns. This guy was still limping around the field, still trying to be Superman, and I'm not totally convinced that wide receiver core is one of the best in the league. He's
going to get hit for sure. I'm going to throw another quarterback name that people are going to recognize, and you're going to say whoa to me this time, but I'm going to go with Peyton Manning as a bust.
I almost had a moment.
Yeah, right. Well,
please explain yourself.
And it's not to say that he's going to be bad. I think he'll be just fine. But when you're talking about a draft, you got to go for value. And to get Peyton Manning on your team, you got to draft him in the first, second round. I just think there's so much better quarterback value later in the draft. So I don't think he's going to be terrible, but I just wouldn't pick him this year because I think he's going to be too expensive. Let's talk about another player you've got on your list.
And I'm a Florida State fan, but I think Kelvin Benjamin, I think a lot of people think he's going to be a sexy pick just because of everybody knew the problems that the Carolina Panthers had at wide receiver, thinking he's going to get a lot of targets. But I don't think he's going to be a huge yards after catch guy, and I don't think he's going to be the vertical threat that he was at FSU in college. So I think we're going to be looking at a possession receiver, and people may spend too high for him.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype around him. One guy that's falling on boards already, I buy into this falling around kind of stuff. Doug Martin is on my team. I'm in a keeper league. I'm going to keep him just because I have to, but right. I'm concerned about the offensive line in Tampa Bay. I'm concerned that he's got some wear and tear on him. I'm concerned about the quarterback position in Tampa Bay. Doug Martin, I'm going to keep him because I have to in my league, but I'm not seeing the huge upside that there used to be for this guy. Let's close out with another running back, I think.
Definitely, and this is the Brian McAllister special, Chris Johnson. I'm not even going to give you any numbers. You can look it up. The guy was incredible for 2 years, but he's just like the rest of us. He's washed.
Yeah, I think people come into the draft and think the name recognition, I've heard this guy's name before, I'm sure he's going to be great, but don't always buy into that, I guess you're saying.
You got to know the numbers.
No doubt.